All right, welcome guys to the Making Bank May 2022 meeting. For those of you who are not live and watching the recording, you missed out on a live demonstration of how to make bank on the phone. I booked someone. But we're actually going to be able to go over two calls that I had in the past month. Both were booked. I've recorded tons of calls, but I happen to not book people most of the time when I'm recording. So I finally got two to look at. Welcome, especially Mike and Alyssa. And Matthew hasn't been live very often, but he's been around. It's awesome. Good to see you guys and everyone else.
Yeah.
All right. I want to play you two calls. I think it's like 15 or 20 minutes of call audio, and then we'll talk about each one. Be ready with questions, be ready with comments. I'd be very interested to know what I do that you think, oh wow, that's pretty good. I don't do that. And I'd be interested to know in anything you think that I should have done better. And we can listen to them together and see what we think. All right, let me go and find the first one. This is, of course, based off of calls. Well, let's see. Earl, I called. He messaged me from my LinkedIn service page, and I think we set up a call. This is our first call we did. Can you hear that?
Hey, Earl, it's John with High End Headshots. How are you?
I'm doing well, John. How are you?
I'm doing great. Is now still a good time?
Oh, absolutely.
One thing I think I did well, especially on this call, was to push for the booking when he was not going to book. So listen for that.
I just want to say I definitely am an admirer of your work, and wanted to see how you were structured and determine if we could work together.
Awesome. I'm an S Corp. I'm just kidding. I know that's not what you meant. So financial joke.
No. Trust me, I get it. I'm an LLC. So
okay, cool.
I will soon be one. So.
I used to be an LLC. You can be an S Corp too. You just have to keep working. I'm just kidding. Do you know about S Corps?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, I asked my old financial person, I was like, it seems like it might make sense for me to be an S Corp. And she's like, there's not really any difference. And then I asked someone else and they're like, yeah, you could probably save $30,000 by becoming an S Corp. I was like, right. I think I'm going to work with you from now on. So I'm working with him now. So how I work, let me tell you pricing first.
Okay.
It's $360 on a weekday to book a session, and it's $365 per image, and I help you choose those at the end of the session.
Okay, so $360 for the sitting, and then $365 per image.
You got it. It's $360 because I have you covered from every angle, and it's $365 because it's only $1 a day to keep the selfies away.
Okay.
And then that's not the fun part. The fun part is the facial expression coaching that I do. I've heard this basic story 100 times from clients. My past headshots, the photographer was nice. He or she got to know me a bit. He or she talked to me and put me at ease as much as possible. He or she helped me with clothing. He or she understood how I was going to use the images. He or she had a drink for me, which was great. He or she played music, which was nice. And then he or she told me to smile, and I didn't like any of the pictures because I look fake in all of them. So I try to do all those good things that led up to the bad thing and then do the bad thing differently. So I actually teach people about their face before I take their pictures. And I teach them what their face does authentically when they're on the friendly side of things. And that allows me to coach them as we shoot. So I go over how I'm going to be coaching them and why. before we shoot. Then I am able to tell them what to do while we shoot. And I also make them laugh or smile. People find me amusing when I shoot. So I'm getting, basically, usually it's coaching, specific coaching, like do this with your mouth, do this with your eyes, for expressions on the smaller side, smaller smiles, more serious, more competent, less bubbly, I'm the life of the party kind of a thing. And then I say things that confuse, amuse, bewilder, that cause bigger reactions, bigger smiles, laughs even. And so that is how I get bigger expressions out of people. It's for 98% of people, you can't tell them to smile big. Even if you're trying to coach them on what to do, it's too much muscle usage to do anything other than an authentic laugh or smile if it's gonna look right. So it's a combination of coaching and creating an environment where people have those bigger expressions. That's how I get the variety of expression. I do image reviews throughout, so you can see what we're getting. I can teach you based on analyzing your images, and you can give me feedback. And I especially want any negative feedback about anything that you're having negative thoughts about, because we can either change something. You know, if you're like not liking the way the shirt's fitting, or for women, it's often like the hair should be flipped to the other side or something like that. Or you can tell me like, you got me laughing here, but I don't think that's professional. I want to be more serious. Or, you know, you got me laughing there. I hate my teeth. I never want to see my teeth, so I don't like that. Whatever you say, you know, I don't like looking directly straight into the camera. I like a little bit of an angle, stuff like that. All that changes how I coach you as we go through the session. So the session, the images keep getting better and better. And then at the end, I help you select. We'll have probably 100, 150 images, and I'm there to help you get rid of the ones that aren't winners. I'm there to keep you from deleting without a second thought, you know, the best image or two. Some people will be like, no, I don't like that. And I'll say, are you sure about that? Because I think this might be the best image we got. And they're free to say, yep, don't like it, and delete it anyway. I try to keep the tears back when they do that. But sometimes they change their mind and see how I explain what I'm seeing in the image, and they want to keep it at least for another round of deletions. So I'm there to help you both ways. And then whenever you're done deleting, you buy those images, they're retouched and delivered by email in about a week.
Okay, fantastic.
I think so.
And they are headshots.
Yes.
Shoulders up, collarbone up, I guess.
Shoulders up, collarbone up. Yep, that's my go-to. Of course, I can take a step back if you want more body or whatever. I do portraits too. We can do full body stuff. It's pretty flexible, but my bread and butter and what I show is pretty tight headshots.
Okay. I'm definitely interested and would like an opportunity to work with you. I'm just trying to think of when would be a good time.
Yeah, I can help you with that.
I think like date wise, it's just, you know, in the period.
I usually shoot on Tuesdays and Fridays. Would one probably work better for you?
My schedule's pretty flexible, and I have, you know, a team that works for me, so I can make either.
That's awesome.
Let me ask you this. Your sessions last generally how long?
For a guy, you're someone without hair and makeup, probably an hour. But it's a flexible session. So some of my people are really, really busy people and they want to get in and out quick. You know, I can shoot someone 5 minutes if that's all they have for me. But you know, someone quick might be 15 or 20 minutes. And then some people want to bring change of clothes, get a wider variety of images for a wider variety in the set of images that they purchase. So there's not really a time limit. You can be there for an hour and a half or 2 hours. It's whatever you want, whatever we need to do to get the kinds of images you want.
And then generally, I don't know if you have a baseline on this, but how many photos do you generally see your clients select?
One or more. Usually it's like 6 to 12, but it's up to the client. All the pressure is on me to create images they want. So, some people come in and are surprised that they want 6 or 12. Some people come in knowing they want 6 or 12. Some people are really just don't have the money and they need to stick to like 2 or 3. I'm happy as long as I feel like the client thinks I did an amazing job and they had a tough time getting down to however many they want to buy.
Got it.
So what about the 22nd?
22nd. 22nd will not work for me. I have a meeting on the 22nd. I'm sure you want to get all your clients in as soon as possible, but I'm thinking more so like around the 27th of May.
Okay, I can do May. I have someone booked out in July, I think, so I'm fine with scheduling in advance. So
Where's your location?
it's 10 blocks north of the Capitol at 52 Street Northwest in DC.
Okay.
So the 27th, I have all 5 slots available on that day, actually. It's 10, 12, 2, 4, or 6.
Let's go with 12.
Okay, sounds good to me. I'll get your information and I'll explain some of my policies, make sure you know what you're getting yourself into.
Okay.
And you can make sure you have your credit card ready and we can get you signed up.
Fantastic. I look forward to it.
Let me see if your email is on your LinkedIn because
Did you hear that? Looking forward to it. I'm like, you're not, we're gonna do this now. Hold on, let me get your information.
have the worst time trying to do emails verbally over the phone.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh yeah, this.
Yes.
Okay, let me put that in. So you're paying $360 now for the session to get yourself scheduled. It'll be $365 per image, even if that goes up before your.
John, you're muted.
Yeah, we're not hearing
Yeah.
anything.
Oh, no.
Second and subsequent reschedules are $150 each.
Hold on.
Personal usage is included.
I muted thinking that I would, if I made noise, you wouldn't hear. But you're getting the audio through my audio service.
I'll get your information and I'll explain some of my policies, make sure you know what you're getting yourself into.
Okay.
And you can make sure you have your credit card ready and we can get you signed up.
Fantastic. I look forward to it.
Let me see if your email is on your LinkedIn because I have the worst time trying to do emails verbally over the phone. Let's see. Oh yeah, this.
Yes.
Okay, let me put that in. So you're paying $360 now for the session to get yourself scheduled. It'll be $365 per image, even if that goes up before your session, which it might. You'll choose at the end of the session. Those images are the ones you'll get, and they will be retouched, delivered by email in about a week. You get a free reschedule more than 24 hours in advance. No reason to even tell me why. You don't need to. Everybody gets one free reschedule more than a day out. Second and subsequent reschedules are $150 each. Personal usage is included. This basically covers everything except if you want to put your headshot on a book and sell the book, or a t-shirt and sell the t-shirt, or your latest album and sell the album, or you pay to have an ad campaign with my headshot as part of it. That's not included, but I would like to buy the first t-shirt with your headshot on it. So just let me know when that comes out.
Absolutely.
And so the commercial usage is not included if you want to sell something, and my headshot would be helping you sell massive quantities of whatever you're selling. The last thing is your session may be documented with videos and photos for my marketing. I'd love to be able to post, make a post with one of your headshots, if that's okay with you.
It is.
Awesome, appreciate that. So now I'm ready for your credit card information.
It's Amex.
Yes?
That number is
Awesome. You'll get an email confirmation now. It will have preparation guidelines as a link in the text of the email. It's highendheadshots.com/prepare. And then it will also have a calendar invitation in it. You can add that to your calendar. It has the address. You'll get a reminder email the day before, and I will text you on the day about parking with a picture of the building, how to get into the building, where I am in the building, and I'll see you there.
fantastic, John. Look forward to it.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Talk to you
Bye.
soon. Bye. All right. That's the call.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
I did want to say something, because earlier, you asked us to comment, things that we thought that you did well. And then blew my mind when you said if there's anything I could do better. And I thought, I don't know how many people who make as much money a month as you do ask people that make as much money a month as I do, as if you can do something better. So, but always looking to learn, which I thought was great. So how many people, do a lot of people run, do you always do the pricing right up front like that? I thought that was bold.
I do
Just
that.
right out the chute.
Yeah, there's, I used to do it the opposite way. Used to build value and then hope that when I said the numbers that they were like, oh, well, you know, it sounds amazing. So I'll do it. Yeah, it's going to be expensive because you just explained how amazing it is. I knew it would be expensive. My thought process behind covering pricing is that I get a gauge of whether they think it's a lot to start out with. Sometimes they say, oh, that's pretty reasonable. In which case, I know they like my work. They think the pricing's reasonable. I shorten the explanation of how the facial expression coaching works. Maybe I don't even cover it. I've had calls where I book people and I tell them the price. That sounds good. When can we do it? I'm not gonna stop them and tell them how it works. I get their information, book them, and then I say, here's how the session's gonna go. But there's no reason to delay getting the payment. So occasionally it's, you know, maybe one in 25 or 30 or 50 who book say, oh yeah, that sounds good when I talk about the pricing. But normally it's a variation of like, oh, whoa, okay. That's more than I would have thought, in which case I say, oh yeah, it's expensive. And but can I tell you why it's expensive? And then I build value to the pricing rather than build value and then hit them with the pricing. I think that if you just explain the process, most people are interested in the pricing. That's why they call. Yeah, how much is that? That's their question. So I think if you try to spend 5 minutes talking about how it works, they're just wondering how much it is and they're not listening as well. And they're formulating what they think the price should be. As you're telling them, like, oh, this sounds good. This will probably be, you know, $100 to $300 for a session and some images. And then if they've been calculating like, this sounds amazing, oh, they're all retouched, maybe it'll be like $350 for a session and some images. And then you tell them like they're building the price in their mind, they're thinking about the pricing instead of listening to you. So I'd much rather get the pricing out there, and then if they are like, that's a lot of money, then you can explain why it is a lot of money. And also it leads better into booking at the end. If it's expensive, if they think it's expensive, if you think it's expensive, and you end with pricing, it's hard to be like, sound good? Like, no, the
Right.
pricing doesn't sound good to anyone. Like, why would me talking about how much I'm gonna spend sound great? Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of money. Sound good? Let's get you booked. No. I'd rather have the pricing conversation quickly in the beginning, transition into why, and then end on the facial expression coaching. We're gonna work together. It'll be great. They're all gonna be retouched. Sound good? Yeah, that sounds good. All right, I shoot Tuesdays and Fridays. When do you want to come in? Fridays are better. Which Friday? What's your credit card information? It's much better than ending with a negative. I mean, I assume people would rather have it for free than to pay. So ending with a negative, which is what they lose to get this experience, doesn't transition as well into a booking.
So do you ask at all what they're going to be using them for?
No, not usually.
Okay.
I mean, most people I shoot are using them for a website, LinkedIn. Maybe they do
Right.
speaking announcements, maybe they speak, maybe they write articles. It's mostly for LinkedIn. So, sometimes it comes up, but that's not part of my process. How are you going to be using these?
Yeah.
If they say like, I have a new website for my new business and I need, 2 banner images and I need something that's like me at a computer because I do a lot of Zoom speeches and okay, then fine, we talk about that. But if it's just someone saying, hey, I need new headshots and I'm a lawyer or whatever. No, I don't make a big deal out of talking about how they're going to use them because most people need one headshot and I don't want to talk about one headshot.
That leads me to my next question. I don't mean to monopolize this, but how many people are asking you how many images other people get? Because your response, first off, I love your humor throughout. The S Corp thing was awesome because it was so quick. I thought the $365 a day to keep the selfie away. That was great. I'm trying to think, how do we do that with $195?
Gotta go to 365.
But I'm guessing how many
$1 a day for half a year
Uh,
keeps the selfies away.
Yeah. So how many people ask you how many others? It almost seems like what you're saying would bring that question out. So how many people are asking you that? Like how
It's
many?
not
Others?
very common. It happens.
Yeah.
And I say 6 to 12 because a lot of people buy 6 and some people buy more, some people buy less, and I'd rather them buy more. So I do when that comes up and I say 6 to 12, like most of my people buy 6 to 12 or many of my clients buy 6 to 12. Many of my clients buy 6 to 3 as well, but I'd rather say 6 to 12. I think I did it on that call, but I usually would say that it's up to them. Like, I don't want them to think that they have to buy 6 to 12. I think I was reviewing other calls this morning too in preparation, but
Oh no, this one you said what you said, one or more.
yeah, 1 or more. And then I said
Yeah.
6 to 12, but then I would
Yeah.
normally say oh yeah, I said, I'm happy if my client, feels that I did an awesome job and they had trouble getting down to the ones they wanted because I did such a good job and they had such a good time. So I emphasize that it puts the pressure on me. What's that?
The pressure on me. I like that phrase.
It puts the pressure on me like you haven't bought the images yet. So if you have a great session and you only feel like 3 of the images were really awesome and those are the ones you want, but you had a great time, then I'm good with that. I don't want to create pressure to buy 6 to 12, but I want to create I want them to know that people come in for 1 and they end up buying 6 to 12 often, and you might do that too, or maybe not. It's up to you.
John, do you have set contracts for book covers and
Nope.
dancers or, okay.
Nope. Most of my clients don't want them. I've been paid for commercial usage on a few images and not much, but I'm shooting more and more people who are, could have a book that is a bestseller or something, more expectedly. So I want to leave that open. I want to just make sure that if they ever come back and be like, I need a high res version of this image for my book, and I say, well, like, that's commercial usage. How many copies are you doing? Where is it being sold? Et cetera. That they're not like, I came to you for headshots for this book and I thought I had the rights to use these, and now you're saying it's going to be, $4,000 or whatever. I want to just cover that and make sure that that doesn't happen. But it doesn't happen more than a couple times in my career.
Okay.
Yep. Anyone else?
I was surprised at how long you talked about the process. I'm wondering if that's a regular thing.
Yes.
And also how you differentiated yourself from the competition. Like, they do all these things right, and here's where they fall down.
Yeah. I think that's pretty powerful because I specifically didn't just say, people say that their photographers tell them to smile and that didn't work and they didn't like the pictures. That just is negative, and just, that's the worst way you could say it. So I came up with things from people's stories that they said that they liked. People are generally, down on themselves more than the photographer. So they usually think the photographer, tried, and they're photographers, and it's just that I didn't look good. But they were trying. They made an effort and they did the best they could with me. That's the way a lot of people feel. So they have good things to say, but then it just didn't work out at the end that I didn't like any of the pictures. So I think it's important that I go positive, 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 negative, which ruined the whole thing. But I don't do that negative thing. I care about you and what clothes you wear, and where it's going to be used, and your personality, and I play music and I have drinks, but I also help you with your face, which is what you need. So yes, it is often that long. If I got someone who said like, oh, that's cheap, then the explanation is going to be quicker. It's going to be like, I actually teach you about your face before the shoot, and that allows me to coach you on your face while we're shooting, and we look at images throughout. You give me your feedback and I take that into account, what you're liking and what you're not liking. So I coach you better as we go. And then we select images at the end. Sound good? Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, which day? But typically it is the longer, like 3-5 minute explanation of how it goes and what kind of feedback they could be giving me and how that will change how we shoot.
The question that came up for me was two of my bigger clients, or bigger successes, I'd say, were people who were price resistant at first. And I remember it was another photographer actually booking me from across the country for one of his clients. And he said, $550 for one photograph? That sounds ridiculous. And I said, does it really? And we talked for another 15, 20 minutes. And he said, you sound like the perfect photographer for this. So
yeah, you tell them to raise his prices.
Oh yeah, we did. But I'd love to hear your perspective a little bit more on the resistant. I was trying to suss that out a little bit about when you say, oh, maybe I'm not the right person for you, maybe this isn't the right time for you, or what, how you determine whether to move on, or say, well, you have a good point, but let me tell you why.
I mean, they tell me when they don't want to book. I've never had a conversation where I shut it down. Like, look, you don't sound like you want to work with me, so have a great day. it's, you know, if you push for the close and they don't want to, then that's a natural conclusion. Like, which works better, Tuesdays or Fridays? Well, I'm not sure that I'm traveling in the next week and I don't know, I have to talk to someone else. Okay, I mean, can we get them on the phone now? Well, no, they're busy. Like, all right, I mean, I explained how I work and you're not ready to schedule. So I don't know what, there's nothing else to talk about. So I'll send you a link. I don't say there's nothing left to talk about. It's just, I'm telling you. What else is there to do? They won't give me their credit card and book. They know what it is. They're not ready at the moment. So I would probably tell them that I would text them or email them the link to book, set up a next call. You know, are you available? Can you talk to that person, or can we talk when you get back from vacation? You know, Monday or May 18th or whatever it is. And if they're like, no, I'll call you. You know, okay, well, great. Hope to hear from you soon. Bye. You know, or we schedule a call and then we do the call. But you know, I don't need them to book. To me, like, if they say like I cannot book without talking to my husband, I'm not gonna be like, you know, just give me your information now. I can't make them. I might say like, what if he says no? You know, I would try something like that maybe. And they might be like, well, he doesn't really say no. And this hasn't happened to me yet, but I've read Grant Cardone's objections book, Closer Survival Guide, and I thought that was very, very smart. So I might push back a little, but if they're not ready, they're not ready. And I just feel a sense of like, it's more likely that they will book if I end the call than if I push. Whenever I feel like someone's positive but not ready to book, I'll push them a bit, but I don't want to make them not want to work with me because I'm pushy. So, you know, 1 or 2 times, yes, if I can do it in a way that I feel like is light and, you know, whatever. I almost did a clip for you guys from a long call I had where a woman said like, I don't think I'm ready. I want to do this later. And let me think about it. I said something like, you could stop making excuses and just get it done now. And she was like, oh, well, yeah, they're not really excuses. I'm like, I'm just kidding. And I waited. She's like, let me get my debit card. Like,
Well,
okay.
Yeah,
She did not end up booking, but I kept the conversation going and made progress, although it didn't work out in the end yet.
the Tuesday, Thursday thing, it seems new to me on your talk about what you're doing. How has that helped you? How long have you been doing that?
So
Limiting.
it's partly because I started doing long-term one-to-one, one-on-one coaching. And I have 3 calls every Monday in the afternoon. So Mondays are my call day. Mondays is when this happens. So I made Monday my call day, stay at home unless I need to. I'm going to a shoot this afternoon because the lady needed the headshot today and she called Saturday. But usually Mondays I don't shoot. Tuesdays and Fridays are my individual session days. So I try to fill those up because I'm 45 minutes to an hour away from the studio now. I want to shoot, 2, 3, 4, 5 sessions on Tuesdays and Fridays. Wednesdays and Thursdays, I leave open for groups. Usually I think it's Wednesdays and Saturdays for portrait sessions. And so I go to the studio less and shoot pretty much the same number of people. And Wednesdays and Thursdays are really good days usually for groups to shoot. So I'm not telling a group of 20 that I can't shoot them because I have an individual session on that day, one individual session. So I try to keep Wednesdays and Thursdays open for groups.
Groups meaning on
Company.
location?
Yeah, usually on location, but groups of people who want headshots for each person. And it does benefit me to be able to narrow down the options for people like I did in that call. If I had said like, does Monday through Friday work sometime? You know, that doesn't like, yeah, sure. If it's Tuesday or Friday, it's like, let me look at next Tuesday, let me look at next Friday. Those don't work. Let me look at the next Tuesday, let me look at the next Friday. And it's easier to find a time than saying like, I'm completely available. I have nothing going on. Just let me know when you want to shoot. It leads to a conversation about which day. So I think it's been helpful for that too.
Are you doing your own retouching?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
pay, my retoucher does hourly, but it works out to about $10 an image.
Oh, okay.
So no, that is not a way to make bank.
How do we find a retoucher?
You can post in my group. I found this guy through posting in Megan DePiero's portraits group. I don't think I actually posted, but somebody posted recommendations for retouchers. So you could even search posts. And I looked at, you know, the 6 people that were tagged, and I reached out to this one guy, and he did a demo, and I liked it. And we've been working together for like probably 8 or 9 months now.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah. One thing I think I regret about that call was that I asked him if he knew what an S Corp was, and I kind of just briefly forgot who he was, but he's the CEO of this, like, I think there are 23 employees on LinkedIn who work with him. So he's like way ahead of me in business, and, you know, their company probably does, you know, 10, $20 million or something in revenue. And I asked him if he knew what an S Corp was, which made me look kind of stupid, I think, but
I thought you were joking. It didn't, I
Okay.
didn't read it like that.
okay.
It was joking through. He was laughing. It was very good wall dropping material.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I mean, it worked. So I'm sure if you listened to my calls that didn't work, you'd have more to give me feedback about. So that was a good call. The next call, anyone else quick or not quick?
I'd just love to, last kind of common question. It's almost scripted the way you do this, and I think you get that a lot from Grant Cardone, but I think there's a lot there that I'd love to suss out. You're recording this.
It's not scripted. I've just done it so many times. So I have lots of different phrases, ways of saying things that are not always present, but I'm basically reading the situation, and I might not say one thing because I realize that it's going a little long and they haven't said anything for 5 minutes. Or I have little jokes, or like this, like the story about the previous photographers people have had. Sometimes that makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I'll say something that is because they specifically said they're looking for a job that, you know, is $100,000 more. I might include the story about the guy that used my LinkedIn picture and was active on LinkedIn for years. But when he put it up, he started getting $200,000 plus job offers regularly, not all the time, but he told me over like a couple months, he got several offers like that he didn't get before. So I have all these stories and phrases that are common, and it's different every time. The call is different every time, but it's a lot of the same pieces. So it's not, I never wrote it out. It's just like when I do talk about facial expression coaching, I know the things that I talk about, and I try to I'm not sticking to a script because I want to feel like I'm talking to the person. So it comes out a little differently, but a lot of the phrases are the same.
Thanks.
Anybody else? All right, let me go to the next one. This one is, let's see.
Hi Casey, it's John with Hind Headshots.
Hey, John, how's it going?
It's going.
We had a scheduled call, I believe, so that's why it started out like that.
Busy. How are you?
I'm okay. I saw on LinkedIn and everybody's beautiful. So guess what? I want to be beautiful too.
I can do that. That's great. Who did you see?
So it was someone in my group, like, her name was.
Alexa, probably.
I'll look and see.
It's not a big deal. It's not someone you know. It's just someone you saw on LinkedIn.
Someone I know, like her picture she posted. It was a black woman.
Okay, cool.
And someone I know liked her pictures or whatever, and I was like, whoa.
Okay, that's good. I like that reaction. I've been scrambling. What do you do? Like, who are you?
Okay, so
Oh, yeah.
So
I remember.
I'm Casey Douglas, right? So
Yes.
I work as contractor for the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services.
Okay,
So, under HHS. So I'm an information system security officer. And then the reason why I really want a good headshot is because I'm accepting the federal job.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna need one with like a flag in the background. I don't want CMS to take it because they're awful.
okay,
And then I also want like a regular one with like the dark background,
yeah.
So
So that's fine. We can do that. What I will do is we'll shoot it all without a flag, and then I'll put a flag picture in the background. So you'll be lit beautifully, and you'll have the facial expression coaching, but we won't see the flag during the shoot.
oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even use it for when I started the federal job or whatever, because that's what they want. But yeah, I'll put on my LinkedIn. I want my the ones with the darker. I like the darker background.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds great. Let me go over pricing if that's okay.
Okay.
It's $360 to book a headshot session during the week without a hair and makeup artist. Or it's $760 to book a session during the week with a hair and makeup artist. And then each image you choose at the end of the session with me, I help you narrow down to the best of the best. And whenever you're done deleting the ones that we're deleting, you tell me, and then you buy the rest of the images at $365 a piece.
Okay. So all right, let's get started. So there's without hair and makeup. What is it now?
$360.
360. Okay. And then that's for the shoot. And then when I order the picture or order the images, it's $365 a piece, right?
That's right. It's because I have you covered from every angle, so it's $360, and it's $365 because it's only $1 a day to keep the selfies away.
Right. Okay. So
If I didn't have that little joke, it would be $390 for the session and $395 per image. But I do have that joke, so it's worth it.
yeah. So what do you got open? I can't do next week. So
Okay.
like solid or what?
I usually shoot on Tuesdays and Fridays.
All right, I'll do it Friday.
For individual sessions like this. So let me take a look at the 22nd. I feel like I have something still available.
Don't do the 22nd because I'm busy that week.
Oh, right. Next week. Yep. Hold on. So without hair and makeup.
Well, because I'm really particular about my makeup.
Okay. If you
My
know.
hair is just straight anyway, so it's not like it's.
Okay. If you know what you're doing, that's fine. The 29th.
I probably don't, but I'm just used to it. You know what I mean?
Okay. It's whatever you want. Okay. So I do have on the 29th, what kind of time are you looking at? I have a 6 o'clock session, which is people who are super duper busy love the 6 o'clock session.
In the morning?
No.
Let's say, whoa.
6
At
p.m.
nighttime?
6
And
p.m.
where you at? I just left in DC at nighttime.
It's up to you. I'm 10 blocks north of the Capitol in DC.
Where you at?
10 blocks north of the Capitol in DC.
Where's the parking?
Parking, there's parking on the street.
Okay, I'm a county girl, okay?
I can valet park your car if you want.
This is funny. Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, I guess 6 o'clock, okay.
Okay. I'll book you now. You can get your credit card.
Sure. You get it out.
Let
Okay,
me
got it.
put in the information I have, 443-804-0910.
Oh,
That's what I gave you. You want me to give you it again?
Let's see.
I
Oh,
took
yeah,
out
hold
the
on.
first.
I'll go to the messages. I have the hardest time getting emails when they're spoken over the phone anyway, so I've got that. I'm going to go over the policy quickly, so we just know we're on the same page. You're paying $360 to book the session now. It's $365 per image at the end of the session. The images you purchase are the ones you'll get, and they are retouched. You have a free reschedule any time, any reason more than a day in advance. You don't even need to tell me why. We reschedule within 30 days at no charge the first time, and subsequent reschedules are $150 a piece.
Got it.
Personal usage is included with the cost of each portrait or headshot, and that covers a wide variety of things. What it doesn't cover is if you want to put it on a book and sell the book, if you want to do an ad campaign with my headshot in it, billboards, TV, or whatever, or if you want to put it on a t-shirt and sell the t-shirt, for example, that's commercial usage. But do let me know and I'll buy the first shirt.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. That hasn't happened yet. No headshot t-shirts yet. And then
I'm not that popular.
I'd love the ability to make a post on LinkedIn with your headshot, maybe, or maybe put it on my website if it's super, super amazing. Is that okay?
As long as I look good.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to, it's going to look good.
Okay, as long as I look good.
Okay. And then I'm ready for your credit card number.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
It's 365 today, right?
Excuse me?
This is 365 today, right?
360 today, yes.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. You're all set. You'll get an email. It has the calendar invitation and it has the address and the calendar invitation. It has in the text of the email, it has the preparation guidelines. It's highendheadshots.com/prepare. And that'll cover everything, including a little advice on hair and makeup. You'll get a reminder email and I'll text you on the day about parking with a picture of the building, information about how to get into the building and where I am in the building. Bring a variety of clothes and we'll do that.
Is there any colors I should think about?
I like, black, white, and then people have been bringing jewel tones more and more lately, it seems like, and those can be awesome for a pop of color. I would avoid distracting patterns unless there's something you really love that has a crazy pattern on it. I've been wrong before.
Okay, sounds great.
And we'll do the facial expression coaching, and part of that is image review. And so it's very easy for you to change clothes, step in front of the camera, I take a picture, we look at it on the laptop, and you say whether you want to keep shooting it or you don't like it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm really hard to photograph, so I'm letting you know. I'm really terrible.
That's what everyone says. That's why they come to me.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Awesome. I
Okay.
will see you on the 29th.
All right, thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
She wasn't wrong. She was very difficult to photograph, and her hair was a wreck, and her makeup was a wreck, and she thought so. Like, you came here and you knew you looked like that. So that's what we're gonna photograph. So she got two. She was happy, but I mean, like the eye makeup was like this above her eye. It was like thick and a wing, and I'm like, man. And she was a pretty person, but man, the makeup did not help. Anyway, successful call, not as successful as a shoot, but I don't think that I could have known. I don't think I should have declined her, and I can't make her pay for hair and makeup. So we did the best we could. All right, thoughts on that? Jim, what did you think?
First, I want to know where did she come from?
Let's see, hold on, let me look her up. It's through LinkedIn. She said she found me through LinkedIn, but let me see if I reach out to her, she reached out to me. What was that conversation? Let's see. Yeah, she messaged me with the subject line pro pic exclamation point. She said, I'm interested in getting a professional pic taken. Can you give me some details? And I said, absolutely. Do you have a few minutes now? Gave her my number, and she said, she asked if she could come like tomorrow. I said 9 or 3 tomorrow works, and she said 3 and or 9, and she gave me her email and her phone number.
And the guy before, he was through LinkedIn, right? So
What's that?
the guy before was through LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I'm just curious if,
He came through my services page.
okay. Which is like an opt-in basically, but he probably saw something. I'm curious, do you find that your calls go any, are they less successful with the opt-ins versus someone from LinkedIn, or are they all basically viewed as opt-ins?
They are probably somewhat more successful on LinkedIn.
Okay.
You know, yeah, probably more successful from LinkedIn. I don't track that stuff, but I have, you know, it's the weirdest thing. I feel like I have had weeks where I'm recording, you know, 80% of my calls, and I book like several people out of the 20% that I don't record. So
Right.
these just happen to be LinkedIn, but there's success on the opt-in and the LinkedIn, obviously, but probably a little more on LinkedIn.
Does it help you to record them at all?
No, I think it might hurt. Because I don't, you know, it's like too much to attribute. I can't attribute the lack of successful sales call recorded to the recording, but it seems like it might. I do put on speaker, and I think my speaker audio isn't as good, so that could, you know, that could detract a little bit from the quality of the call. And I know I'm recorded, so that could affect, you know, how good I am on the phone a bit, but I'm not sure.
Good thing you're doing this in Virginia and Maryland. You could get in trouble for.
I looked
recording.
up the rules, yes.
Yeah. No, I think, and this one I caught the 360 from every angle. I'm assuming that math people, just that one goes right past or doesn't go. They're like, huh? They
Sometimes
don't
I
get
say
it.
like 360 degrees. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think this is really good because for the last probably month or 6 weeks, I had a conversation with Daniel about this and talked to Dwayne. I feel like my booking, what's where I'm looking for, booking rate has just gone way down. And I know there, like I'm saying something or something was in there, but as you're going, I've been reevaluating. I think a lot of it has to do with 2 things. First, like you said, I'm saying all the value, then throwing the number out, and it's not equaling what they thought. And I also feel like after I put a number out, like I feel like I still have to explain it more. Like I'm feeling that, and I think that's probably coming across. And I love how you just say the price, and then you're just quiet and you listen for that reaction. So I'm gonna be changing an awful lot. So
Yeah, wait for them to
this is great.
say, oh, wow, that's a lot, or okay, or that's not that bad. And that gives me a place to go from there.
Yeah.
Mine dropped off for a while. I didn't book anybody for, it felt like weeks, you know, 30 calls, no one booked. And I'm assuming that it was me, but I don't know what I changed. But I try to focus on having conversation. If I ever hear them start to talk, I stop and what was that? I want to hear what they say. I want to be loose. I don't want it to feel scripted. So that's, I feel like people who are nervous on the phone don't joke on the phone at all. It's like, okay, so here's what I do. And I think if you sound like that, then you don't sound confident, and it's not as fun. People don't laugh. People don't start to like you. Like the S Corp thing, that was, you know, if he'd said like, how are you structured? I know he means, how do I work? So if I'm nervous, I'm going to be like, here we go. I will book you on the phone, blah, blah, blah. We do facial expression coaching, but it's less personal. So I try to be open to getting sidetracked a little bit and joking and then coming back to what they said. And I think people who are nervous and like thinking that people won't book on the phone will take the guy that we heard first, who said like, I'll have to check. I don't know what will work for me. Like, okay, well, let me know when when you find a time and
Yeah.
I'll talk to you later. And, I think he would have booked even if I had let him go, but he might not have. So, um, I guess it comes down to being confident enough or forcing yourself to be able to joke and take conversations where they're going. And then if you want to, if you're in the middle of explaining how the session works and it diverts, talk about that and then be like, the rest of the process, I didn't get a chance to tell you the rest of the process, but it's blah, blah, blah. And then the confidence that these people, I feel that these people should come to work with me and that they'll be disappointed if they don't, or they at least will not be in as a good position branding wise and for their professional lives if they go to somebody else. So I'm doing them a favor by trying to get them to book, and I will push as much as I think I can until it's more likely that I'll book them if I let them go than if I keep pushing. So yeah, I'm glad that helps. Anybody else? Does it happen that the call ends right after you give them your pricing? Usually, I mean, I've had people hang up occasionally, Matthew, once in a while. I mean, like a few times total. But usually what happens if they think that it's crazy is they say, whoa, I was thinking about spending like $100 or something, or whatever they say, or that's really expensive. That just leads into, well, do you want to know why it's so expensive? And then no one's like, no, I don't want to know why it's so expensive. People are like, yeah, sure. And then I get to tell them about it. And if they have a reaction where it's really like, wow, that's crazy, I can't imagine who does that. I can't imagine anybody doing that. Then they're probably not going to book, but I'll still explain, take 5 minutes, explain, see what they say. If they're like, yeah, that sounds great, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, great. Hope to work with you sometime in the future. Let me know. Have a great day. That's it. I have referred people to other photographers in the area too. If they're like, oh, I really only have $200 or $300, I will, if they hear what I do and they're still like, I just can't, then I will refer them to somebody I know in the area who does a good job. It's not the John Meadows experience, but it's good. And people have gone there and have been happy. So whatever. You can't win them all. So don't try to win them all too hard. Try to win them all, but not too hard. Any other questions?
It was just good to hear your process. I learned a lot just by listening to it. So thank you.
Awesome. Good. I finally.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be limiting my days as well as I go into that. Any tips?
Well, for me, it was partly because I needed a day to do calls and I didn't want to be going into the studio for one person like I'm going to do today, special case. So I blocked that off for me. Wednesdays and Thursdays, I think, are good for groups. So that's a good day not to do individual headshot sessions. In addition, there's half of the street is blocked off in the morning for street cleaning, allegedly, on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So that's another reason why it's good for me not just shoot Wednesdays and Thursdays, because there's limited parking. And it gets like people have to park a few blocks away sometimes on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Oh, wow. Okay. But booking online, I know you do the phone call, the follow-up.
Yep.
Is there any place where people can book you online?
Yep. When they fill out the opt-in for pricing, they're immediately redirected to a page with the calendar and pricing, and they can book. And sometimes they do. Last week, I think somebody booked, and it was 15 minutes between her inquiry and her booking, and I didn't get a chance to call her. I didn't even see that she had opted in, and then I got the email. So yes, all the drip email campaigns have a button at the bottom to click to book your session, which leads them to that page. And sometimes I text people or message people the link if it didn't work out on the phone and they want to schedule after they talk to someone and they're not going to book until they talk to that person. So yeah, absolutely.
I need to change that. Do you
I'm
mind if
open-
I try yours out?
No, let me,
What's-
it's highendheadshots.com/pricing-2. There you go. Please don't fill out the form.
Okay.
I want to be able to book people however they want to be booked. I don't, I want them to book. It doesn't matter to me whether we do it on the phone or I just want to get it done when they're ready, however they want. So it's up to them.
Thanks, it helps. A little fascinating fact, I have an old client I've been shooting for 20 years, and I just shot for HHS last week. It was a cluster. It was a bunch of executives coming from all across the country, and they asked me to do the headshots or the portraits, the official portraits for the people at the same time. And I was really resistant. I was like, this is not good. It's not going to pay well. This is going to suck. But I did, I think it was 9 portraits at HHS for $1,100. So it, I was like, what a pain in the ass. Sorry. I had to drag all my stuff there, and I was like, never again, never again.
Yeah.
But an old client, and
Yeah. I don't know why you did that, but okay, cool.
well, yeah, it's just to keep up, for help out someone who was in a little bit of a jam.
Okay,
The head photographer there is, he's going through some health issues.
so you cared about them, but they didn't care about you.
That's a good way to think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing them a favor, but they won't pay you your rate. Okay. Okay, cool. I mean, whatever, I'm 5% kidding and 95% serious.
I mean, it's to ask tough, sometimes we got to ask ourselves the tough questions.
Yeah. Maybe it's a good decision, but that's not enough money. for
Well,
them.
and it didn't, it didn't look that great. I would love to have done the flag in the background later. Would have totally saved me.
All right, cool. Hope that was helpful. Let's do wins quick, and then I gotta get ready and leave for this session. So, Peter. I saw you posting, did you post on LinkedIn about the beach and loving where you live? Or was that Facebook?
Yeah, both places.
Okay, cool. That's good, I think. I mean, I imagine.
Yeah, I got
people who live there
to
love
start
it,
doing
and-
some more personal stuff in there.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
So when,
Yeah, I did 7 new people at this law firm. They reached out to me on LinkedIn, and the law firm has the rest of them is horrible. It's a huge law firm, so they're going to have me do the rest of the staff. So that's great, like
you
30
stuck
guys.
to your pricing.
And I stuck. Yeah, I wanted to go low to get in there. I'm struggling, but I said, screw it. I'm going to do my price. And they didn't even blink an eye.
Very good. I was so glad to see that you stuck to your pricing. It
Yeah.
creates a bad, like, yeah, you might get in, but then that's what they expect. Like, why did you charge us cheap and then charge us
Yep.
expensive? So it's the best course of action. Even if you hadn't gotten it, I think it's the best course of action. But awesome,
Yeah.
good, love it. Connie, hi.
Hi.
Did you have wins?
Yeah, well, I had a different kind of win.
Good.
I'm still doing work with the Construction Industry Council in New York. That's paying the bills, and I do some retouching for them. I used to do a lot of shooting. I'm glad not to be doing the shooting because that was travel and pay that wasn't worth it. I think I told you I was going to be rebuilding my personal website, and also my photography site, and working on our little barn, which is becoming my new studio. We've had a lot of health issues here, and the barn's not going as fast as I'd like. But I did do a new website. It's part of my sales funnel. It's not for photography. It's for something totally different, but it's in my funnel. And with that, I've launched a separate project, and independent of that, it's crazy. It's called Seeing Goodness, ordinary and extraordinary acts of goodness, kindness, and love in the world. I've got a following on Clubhouse. And I thought, oh, I haven't said anything about it yet on Facebook, and I didn't even mention it. I just said something about an old post about goodness. And the head of the regional radio station said, we need to get you in. We need to get you in on a monthly program. And I'm like, radio, ooh, that's really good for photography, but it's great because it's seeing goodness, and I can funnel people to the website, and then I can lead them from there, and I can ask them to tell their stories, and they can pay me to do their headshots. So it's kind of like a little twisted, but I am. And I took out my Flex kit yesterday, finally, to dust it off and get going again. So I'll be looking for some help. Started working with that, and I have a very hot lead with a local CrossFit organization. A guy I shot before reached out to me, wants another headshot, but he wants full body work. He's gorgeous too. I mean, he's gorgeous, and he's a big leader in there. So my question is, while I'm rusty, do I charge him? Because he's I would charge him. That's do I charge him, or do I really take advantage of the fact that he's in with that CrossFit thing and use him as a model and have him give me some time so I can get some extraordinary images?
Why don't you have him give you some time by you giving him some time and making it a great shoot, and then get money and use him as a model?
So
Do everything. Get money from him and use him. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Connie?
yeah. Well, I was
Use him
thinking of getting
as a
money for
model for the photography.
I was thinking
Oh,
of
he's
getting him,
gorgeous.
having him pay for his headshots, and then that way I get money for that, and I again assess value. But I haven't been in their location, and
Why don't
whatever.
you have him pay for the headshots and then gift him a portrait session in the CrossFit gym valued at whatever? And
What's the
and then-
whatever?
well, whatever you want. Say usually it's, whatever, if you have a portrait, if you've done portraits and it's a different price, or say like normally it would be, it would be the session fee just to do the portraits, but I want to do an extended session with you at no extra charge. And then do it, and then say like, can I use these? And he'll be like, yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, he let me use them before.
So use them,
He's so vain.
get money from him.
Yeah.
Let him buy the images he wants, and then ask if you can use the images. He'll say yes, because you did this free extended session for him, the extended part for free. And then when he refers people to you and you get people, you didn't give him free images.
I agree. I don't want to, I'm not planning to give him free, but
I mean, what Peter just said, he stuck with his pricing, he got in anyway, and now they know his pricing, and they're gonna bring him in for more. I don't think you want to
Yeah.
come in with like, well, he got a special deal because I was trying to get you guys.
okay, gotcha. Good, thank you. And I
Awesome.
missed the beginning, and I have a meeting tonight at 9:15, so I may stop in for the first 15 minutes tonight.
Okay,
'Cause you're so-
great. And do you know Norm Gillette? What's his name? How do you spell his last name?
Jay, I think it's JAI.
Jaillet.
Yeah, I think.
Check out, you should get in touch with Norm I just saw him. JAILLET. He does CrossFit photography and probably would just have something helpful to tell you about it.
It's, yeah, it's not in my, it wasn't on my radar, but hey,
He's in the crew, so reach out to him.
cool, thank you.
Yep. All right, Kevin.
Thanks for doing this. The win would be revolving around that same day of the Health and Human Services shoot. The same day I'm on the shoot, this guy calls me up and he says, I need a headshot right away. And I said, how'd you find me? Where he said, I'm in Silver Spring, Maryland too. And I said, great. I'm booked today. I was shooting there from 10 until 2. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this. But I have a studio near my house and I had everything set up for another shoot, another headshot. So I knew it was ready. And I said, I tell you what, I can do a short session with you at 4:30. And he called, he said, yeah, that works well. And he came and he ended up buying the collection of 6 plus the sitting fee of $295, $290 and $295 is my parallel
1-to-1.
pricing.
Yep.
And then I ran out to the Watergate Hotel for $400 that night. So I was burning the candle with those cheap stuff, but it's just a reminder. I could have shot myself in the foot for that bigger portrait session just by taking these jobs that are low pay for older heritage clients. What do you suggest? What do you suggest for stepping away from those lower paying heritage clients?
Tell them that it's gone up and here's the new pricing. See if they bite. If you really want to keep them, say like, I'll do 20% off for you of the new price, which will still be way above. Times have changed. I've gotten a lot better. I'm more in demand. I mean, if it's $1,100 for a half a day, you don't need that anyway. Like, it'd be better not to have them, I think. Because you're not working on your business while you're shooting. It's a lot of tearing down and setting up and traveling and getting into and out of buildings and all. It'd be better to just be posting on LinkedIn and reaching out on LinkedIn, getting leads of people who are going to pay you what you're charging.
Yeah,
Kevin,
thanks.
are you doing your own editing?
No, well, that shoot, I just had to convert everything to JPEG and send it to him. But I was fetching to my wife. It was probably, talking to them beforehand, planning things out. It was probably about 16 hours of work, even though I didn't do the retouching or editing of the images. It's a pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
them out.
really appreciate.
Phase them
And I
out.
really I appreciate the question about the retouching. Was that you, Connie, who asked that? I'm looking to have a retoucher as well. So for my regular headshot work. So thank you for asking that. And I like your last name.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm looking for one too. Maybe we can do like a family discount together or something. We'll pretend we're in the same, we'll pretend we're the same studio, and.
I'll have to reach out with you in the Facebook group.
Yeah,
There's
I
some
can't
sort of,
find you.
some
I can't
sort of-
find you. Well, yeah, in the Facebook group. Yeah.
just pretend you're married. All right, Jim.
Well, after a lot of onesie twosies, the other day I had a 7-image sale, which just felt really good because it had been a long time. And it was like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing? But anyway, it felt really, really good. And then I just wanted to share something really quick. Make sure your backup system is working well. You have everything backed up and you're doing appropriately. I shoot my kids' school sports just because I've done it for years. And I shot all the spring sports, and I made the mistake of naming one of my external drives the same as a folder somewhere, and the external drive is where anyway, I lost everything and had to reshoot it last week. So make sure your backup is going.
You lost the kids stuff or you lost a professional job?
The kids, all the kids stuff. Yeah. It's one of those things. I only do it because my kids went to the school there. There's what the school's done for our family has been a lot over the years. Now I do shoot their school pictures there too. But no, I lost all the spring sports. I lost everything and I had to go back in and do it, which pissed off all the teachers. But anyway, no. And then other win just would be, I had finally that really great, big job at an office space, at an office near me. It was 2 days, it was 50 some people. Everyone loved it that came through. The person who paid loved it. So, and I'm going to be getting, more people out of there. And I got a couple of group sessions coming up this month, and also one already in June. So looking to add those group sessions.
I love hearing your comments too, Jim, on the group pages and stuff like that. Congratulations on that.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, Linda, are you there?
Yeah, I have 20 years of things to talk about because I was in graphic arts and it just was me and the dog in the room for 20 years. So now when people come in my studio, maybe that's a problem. I don't shut up.
Yeah. You feel like you must have something more to say. Yeah.
I know.
Hey, Linda. You're muted, Linda.
Hi.
Linda looks the comfiest of all of us, I have to say.
Yes, thank you. Well, now that I have my casts off, yes, I am. I know I keep mentioning that because it really does feel amazing again. But anyway, yes. Yeah, I've got some jobs coming up. I'm getting caught up on some backlog stuff. Yeah, I did have one big job cancel. It was going to be 5 of them. They finally they were having a meeting and all their people from out west were going to be here. And then they had to cancel the meeting. But what was nice was the lady said, "I'm so sorry." She said, and the shoot's still 2 weeks away. She said, "Is there a cancellation fee?" And I thought, wow, that's really nice. And I told her, I said, with COVID and everything, I said, I'm not, I just want to be a little bit more flexible for people. So don't worry about it. And we'll rebook it sometime. She said anyways, but it was really nice to have a client that thought of that.
Yeah.
And offered it. And that was good. And it felt good to tell her, it's okay. Don't worry. So.
I don't think people at lower prices get asked that ever. Like, well, you didn't do the work, so like, give us all of our money back. Yeah, you get people who don't care about that and don't ask that, of course. But I think at the higher price points that I think you're at now, people start respecting you.
Yeah, I do find that the people that are calling me, that are contacting me, when they ask the price, they're just, they don't seem to, sometimes they don't even ask the price. I have to tell them. They're just like, it is different. I'm definitely not getting as much. Well, I wouldn't say I'm not getting as much. I'm probably getting about the same amount of business, which isn't a lot, but I'm getting the LinkedIn thing now that I'm active on it. It's going a lot more interaction. I actually have people connecting with me now. A few times a week, I've got people that are wanting to connect with me that seem to be, they're not just starting out on LinkedIn, they're already well established themselves. And I'm surprised that they offer a connection to me. But I am engaging a lot, and at least that feels good to be active that way.
Yep.
And it is, I've got some business coming up from that. So
That's good. Now you just need to stop being surprised.
yes, yeah.
Good. Glad you're on the mend. And I think I feel like over the last 6 months, you've changed a lot.
In what way?
You've gotten to be much better at business and much more confident. And it feels like maybe you're doing the same amount of sales, but you're getting a lot better people in. I just have that sense. Is that right?
I think I've been fortunate in having good people in most of the time.
Yep.
Maybe just because of I didn't have the same volume. So you guys are going to run into a lot other things and other people that don't appreciate you much. But the ones that were coming into me were always pretty good. But definitely, yeah, I do feel better about the way I'm handling the business end of it. And there's still a lot of room for a whole lot of growth, but I'm feeling more confident with it. Part of that is because of feedback I get from other people. People that are my clients, people that aren't my clients, but the feeling of being seen as an expert.
Yep.
that I get that without, I'm not trying to mine for that or anything, but I get that feedback from people locally, people that I know that I'm too expensive for them, but I still get that feedback from them, you know, and you can kind of hear it in them that they would like to, but they're afraid to ask my price. And that kind of feels it, that takes me by surprise. Sorry, John, but it is kind of neat, and it boosts my own confidence with that. Like, oh, maybe I'm not too bad after all. Okay,
Maybe not.
maybe not. So, and I think most people think I'm quite busy, but I'm posting a lot more now too.
Yeah.
And I don't talk about it otherwise. So it's good.
For me, a lot of the times the LinkedIn interactions where they're not interested at the moment, what you were talking about, like feeling like they're afraid to ask the price. I feel
Yeah.
like those sorts of people ask later. Like when something comes up, you'll be first on their mind and they'll ask and they'll book later. Might be in a year.
And that's how I'm taking it, is that I kind of didn't expect a lot of booking right off,
Yeah.
but I'm building that awareness, and I keep putting that out, and I get feedback from people sometimes that are like, I love your stuff. And I can tell they don't need a headshot maybe right now, but I'm getting, you know, without me looking for stuff, people that have connected with me, they I love your stuff, or you're so professional or stuff. And I'm thinking, okay, so all they've seen pretty much is my LinkedIn,
Yep.
but it's generating that awareness for the long game. It's planting the seeds that when they do need someone, you know, I am popping up.
Yep.
More. So yeah, I keep thinking of it in terms of the long game. And as long as I'm, you know, kind of moving forward towards that and seeing some growth with that, it's planting that awareness so that, what was it? Someone mentions it's, you know, that you're building, what is it? Build like trust or something. No, like
and
trust.
trust. Yeah.
Yeah. And then that becomes a thing. So that helps me also steady through when I see other photographers that are doing way better than me, or have a much, like they're on TikTok and everything. And like, I'm sorry, I don't, I don't know. I don't want to use old as an excuse or anything like that, but it's just like, I don't want to dance on TikTok. I think it's really cool that other people can, but that's just not me. So why am I want to do something that's just not me? Let's keep doing what I do and build that no like trust thing on my end. So that's
I
kind of
think you would
hard.
do well on TikTok.
I don't know. They all dance to those. They and it's cool. They sing to the songs and they're doing stuff. And I'm like,
Maybe you should get on TikTok and just rail against everyone. Just be like, this is bogus. I don't understand why you guys have so much time.
Someone gave me the suggestion this week to at least save my handle or handles on TikTok.
Yeah.
oh,
And like,
maybe I should do that.
yeah, just
Get an
save
account.
your handles. One, then it doesn't get confused with some other person. And two, when the time comes that you may want to do something, and you don't have to dance on TikTok.
You really missed it. You should have danced with all the casts.
Oh, it's just like,
Can I ask where everybody is? Just out of curiosity.
I'm in DC.
I'm in Aurelia, Ontario.
Okay.
I'm in my
Just
kitchen.
north. You're in the kitchen.
He's next to the door to the bathroom and the door to the basement.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, John knows it. Wait, here we go. This is for you, John. Hold on. Where's it at?
I'm in the comfy chair.
Yeah,
Kevin, where are you?
I'm in the basement in Silver Spring, Maryland, just north of DC.
there you go. Basement. Oh, garage and basement.
Garage and basement. We don't have one over the bathroom, but as I get older, I think I'm going to need to.
I tell people at the
I'm at-
studio, they're like, is there a bathroom? Like, yeah, it's down the hall. It's to the left at the end. It's the room with the toilet.
Well, and yeah, and actually I'm in Massachusetts. That's my big issue now with the barn. I still haven't solved that because I don't want people coming in my house. So I've got to get a porta potty. So if I'm going to do a high-end client, eventually I want to do an entrance out. Nobody agrees with me on this. Nobody agrees, but I want to do an outside entrance going into a bathroom.
That could
Because we
work.
need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, but I mean, the bathroom's this big, you know, and I would want to make it handicapped accessible, so I have to get rid of the tub, so a wheelchair could get in, you know, it gets, I don't have the money for that right now. Like, it would be a lot in the back.
I think that would be a unique resale point when you're ready to let go of the house.
Yeah,
Direct into the toilet.
yeah, well, yeah, but any improvement, I mean, it's 1955 bathroom, but it's like, do I have to get a high-end porta potty? Do I have to like buy a wedding porta potty to put out there and put nice fencing around it? Like, I don't know what to do there.
I don't know. You need to make bank first, it sounds like.
Yeah, my husband's not super well, so that's one reason why I'm choosing to work at home, and he's older. So, yeah, and the barn's kind of cool, and the backyard's kind of cool.
It's cool. All right, thanks, guys. I had the $75,000 a month, was just cool. It was a win to get on the PhotoBizX podcast, and that is out. I just posted it in the group. So
Cool.
those are my big wins. All right, I gotta go.
You posted somewhere the breakdown of that, didn't you? Your 75,000?
Dan posted a breakdown of his $52,000 a month or whatever. I was thinking I should post a breakdown of my 75.
Yeah, I saw Dan posted his.
But I'm kind of, I don't know. I included my coaching income, which I normally don't do. So I don't really want to just tell everybody how much I'm making with coaching versus.
You could just do percents and just leave that out or whatever, you know. That's the thing where when I was asking Daniel, it's just like, you know, all right, so what percent's individual, what percent's group? That was like basically.
I could just say like this thing includes some coaching income and Maureen sales, and just give the breakdown of how many sessions I booked, how many sessions I shot, how many groups, how many portraits, how many new hires, and then just, you know, it gives an idea.
You can be vague and still
Yeah.
be a little more detailed.
All right.
Just don't be a
will-
politician.
I'll plan to do that. It would be a good idea. I thought so too, but now that you mentioned it, I'm more likely to do it.
Where can we see the recording?
It's posted in the group. It's also just on the PhotoBizX podcast site.
No, I mean, you're recording this.
Oh, it's in the archives. Do you not have the link to the archives?
I don't think I do.
Oh,
Is it on Facebook?
no. It's
John,
just for members.
I'm still like, I don't think I have it either, because I'm not getting, I
Right,
don't
I'm
think
gonna-
I'm doing any